You know, for years, I felt like my struggles with weight were such a curse, and it made me sort of distant from God because I was so consumed with thinking about all these struggles, and I would bounce from feeling guilty to absolutely just craving whatever food I wanted to trying to get a handle on my diet. And I finally realized, you know what? This has got to stop. One day I was reading in Matthew chapter 19, and it was the story about the rich young man. It starts in verse 16, and it says, "Now a man came up to Jesus and asked, 'Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?' Jesus replies, 'Why do you ask me what is good? There's only one who is good. If you want to enter life, obey the commandments.' 'Which ones?' the man inquired. Jesus said, 'Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony, honor your mother and your father, and love your neighbor as yourself.'" Well, the young man took a step back and he kind of paused and he said, "Well, all these I've kept." In other words, the young man says, "I've followed all the rules. What do I still lack?" You know, the second most popular rock song today is Mick Jagger's song, "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." Boy, can I relate to that food. You know, I want something salty, and then I want something sweet, and then I want something salty, and then I want something sweet. I know what it feels like to say, "I can't get no satisfaction." And that's basically what this man was saying to Jesus. So Jesus looks straight at him and says in verse 21, if you want to be perfect or you want to be whole, go sell your possessions, give them to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come and follow me." And when the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. You know, I think sometimes we hear that story and we think, whew, good thing I'm not rich because that didn't really apply to me. But I have to say, as I sat there and read these scriptures one day and that Mick Jagger song was playing in my head, "I can't get no satisfaction," I thought, you know, I know what it feels like to follow all the rules and have Jesus looking straight in my soul and say, it's not about following the rules, Lise. It's not about getting consumed with these cravings and trying to figure out how to eat just right. What it's really about is learning how to crave me more than your greatest struggle. See, this man's greatest struggle was his money. So Jesus looked straight into his soul and said, "You crave money more than you crave me." And when I read that and I understood it finally, I felt like Jesus was looking straight into my soul and saying, "Lisa, your issue isn't money. Your issue is that you think about, you plan your life around, you crave food more than you crave me." And it's interesting, Jesus tells this man that he's going to have to follow him. And when Jesus instructs anyone to follow him, there's several steps that we have to take for that. We have to deny ourselves, take up our cross, and then follow Christ. I can tell you that I finally discovered how this trying to get healthy eating journey and my struggles with weight, how it's actually become a blessing in disguise. Because as I've looked through the scriptures and discovered amazing teaching that God speaks to this very issue in his Bible, I've grown closer to God. And I can honestly say now, I would walk through my weight loss journey again to discover the blessing of how it's helped me grow closer to God. If I'd never struggled with my weight, I would have missed this blessing, and I wouldn't want to miss this blessing. So is struggling with weight a curse or a blessing? I don't know. Take this journey and you decide.